We are no Jedi.
What's really was great about 2023 is the gaggle of new series that we got that range from originals to the serial killer genre and ones that borrow or are based on pre-existing fandoms, kind of like fan fiction. We have a lineup for you that will take you literally from criminal underbellies to outer space with a few pit stops along the way. And we have more than just your average show. We have the best miniseries. Get your popcorn ready, set, and let's go.
Would you be interested in having an affair?
Number 10. The Continental from the world of John Wick.
We need guns. Lots of guns.
If you've ever followed the uber dark and violent world of John Wick, who's completely justified in everything he did after the Russian mafia killed his dog, then you might be familiar with one fascinating aspect of the movies, the Continental, and its strange sanctity that the worst of the worst respect. The series The Continental from the world of John Wick answers all your questions. Set in the 1970s in New York City, you'll see firsthand how the hotel that serves the underbelly of the underworld came to be. This is not a John Wick story, but it takes place in the same cutthroat universe. Only this time, you'll see the origins of the High Table, the Bowery, and how every part of the city's underbelly works.
I'm asking you to do is not easy. I'm offering you a chance to decide who you want to be.
Number 9. Love and Death.
Just chopped and chopped and chopped.
I didn't do it.
I think you did.
A different kind of snap. Elizabeth Olsen stepped away from the mantle of the Scarlet Witch and literally doused her hands in scarlet red blood for this role. HBO's miniseries Love and Death takes us all the way back to the 1970s Midwest and a housewife's rapid descent into insanity and homicide. If you thought Olsen was a master of depicting grief and power, then you'll have a blast watching her portray Candy Montgomery barely keeping it together. Olsen's performance is stellar, but the actual action of the show, will they catch her or won't they, will grab you from start to finish. The other powerhouse in addition to Olsen is the magnificent Lily Rabe as Betty Gore, who Montgomery kills.
Betty! Betty?
Number 8. Hijack.
Got family? Loved ones?
We got one job to do right now, just get through to them.
Bottleneck-like series that takes place over a short period of time or in a specific place always have a magic to them. This time we have Idris Elba trapped on a 7-hour plane ride from Dubai to London that's been hijacked by terrorists. Action on flight KA-29 takes place almost right away, with hijackers locking down every class. Meanwhile, corporate negotiator Sam Nelson tries to save everyone on board, and slight spoiler alert ahead. How Idris Elba ends up intertwined with the conflict, chef's kiss.
We need to get a message to the whole plane. We just need to be ready.
Number 7. Mrs. Davis.
But she wants you to. Then I better get going.
Mrs. Davis gets wilder the more you watch it. The premise is that Sister Simone, played by Betty Gilpin, is ousted from her convent by an artificial intelligence called Mrs. Davis, schemes against her. Sister Simone embarks on a warrior nun's mission to seek revenge on Mrs. Davis. But the road to revenge leads elsewhere. A search for the Holy Grail. She enlists the help of Wiley, her ex-boyfriend and a resistance movement leader. Can they rise up against the machine? Mrs. Davis feels like an insurmountable threat. One step ahead of them every time.
She wants to talk.
Talk to you.
If I say no, it's just going to send someone else, isn't it? Probably.
Number 6. Queen Charlotte, A Bridgerton Story.
Why me?
Charlotte, there are worse fates than marrying the King of England.
What's so great about this show is that you can enjoy it on both even and odd days. If you thought that nothing could top Daphne and Simon or Kate and Anthony, then Queen Charlotte's origin story and absolutely breathtaking marriage to King George will prove you wrong. Such a romantic and eternally beautiful love story. India Rhea Amartayefio, as Charlotte and Corey Milcreast, are absolute gems, their chemistry evident even in their viral interviews. Watch as Charlotte grows into a powerful queen, and tragically as George descends into madness. Also watch the blossoming story of Brimsley and Reynolds all over again.
You refuse to help a lady in distress.
I refuse when she's trying to go over a wall so that she does not have to marry me. Hello, Charlotte.
Your Majesty.
Number 5. Daisy Jones and the Six.
Billy, you wrote a good song, not a great one.
Did you guys want to record something or fight more? I'm fine either way.
When Stevie Nicks came out herself and said Daisy Jones and the Six was like looking into the past and actually praised the show, she cemented the belief that this show is like no other. We see Daisy Jones, played by the charismatic Riley Keough, and her band, the apex predators of the music industry in the 1970s. After one sold-out show at Chicago's Soldier Field, they mysteriously broke up. The Beatles, One Direction, and of course, Fleetwood Mac style. Decades later, in a documentary style, the truth is revealed. What's particularly praised is Keough and Sam Claflin's off-the-charts chemistry, deviations from the book fans actually enjoyed, and their singing.
I mean, are these even lyrics?
Yes, they're lyrics.
Kites fly in a
It's a metaphor.
For what?
It's for feeling untethered or adrift.
Maybe just say that then.
Number 4. The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart.
She's lost her whole family. No, she hasn't.
Flowers have never looked more charming, beautiful, and paradoxically menacing. As in The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart, you definitely need a trigger warning for this one for domestic violence and verbal and physical abuse. It's the story of Alice, played by the 100's Alicia Debnam Carey, whose parents die in a mysterious fire. She's sent to live with her grandmother on a flower farm. Sigourney Weaver's performance alone will take you on a journey from dislike, intense hate, to respecting and loving her. Plus, it's super interesting to see the symbolism of flowers.
I know you said not to contact you. And I know how angry you must have been when you left.
Number 3. A Small Light.
Can't show any fear. Let's do this.
This is one story whose tragic ending we already know, but not like this. Let's just give all the awards all at once to Bel Powley. This is the real-life, heart-tugging story of Miep Gies, whose name is often almost synonymous with the story of Anne Frank. Gies played a critical role in hiding Anne and her family in Amsterdam during its Nazi occupation. Powley is incredible. Joe Cole takes over every scene. You also see struggles you'd never otherwise think about during the atrocities of Nazi Germany. And when that last episode hits a horrified tearjerker.
Did you hear that? The Queen wants my diary.
And I can't wait to see it.
Get down!
Number 2. Beef.
What is your problem? What?
Here's one sentence to get you hooked. 2 strangers get into a road rage incident that brings chaos into their lives. Glenn died so that Danny could run. But it's more than okay. Amy Lau and Danny Cho, played by Ali Wong and Stephen Yoon, are phenomenal. Beef, which may catch you off guard with its name, is one of 2023's most intense shows. It's laugh-out-loud funny and duck so no one sees you cry, sad. The show has always been intensely praised for its portrayal of the Asian community and the multi-layered exploration of its relationships. From minute 0.1 to the last minute of the 10th episode, you won't be bored.
You're the one that flipped me off all roided out and Hey! Are you guys leaving, or are you just gonna sit there?
What'd you say? What'd you say?
Say it again! I dare you to say it!
Number 1. Ahsoka.
You never made things easy for me, Master.
To enjoy Ahsoka to the fullest, you might want to watch Rebels and Clone Wars. 2 words well, 3 epic lightsaber fights better than any of the movies and the prequels. In a galaxy far, far away, former Jedi Knight Ahsoka Tano meets a dilemma. The bad guys want to free Thrawn and let him wreak havoc on the universe. The good guys want to protect the New Republic. The protagonist Ahsoka runs circles around her plethora of interesting characters. You have Hera, Shin, Sabine, Chopper, Baylan, and more.
As a Jedi, sometimes you have to make the decision no one else can. But I'm counting on you to see this through.
Nice haircut.
What do you think of the list? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe for more content.